Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is December the 31st, and it is the last day of 2023. It is a very special day. Not only is it New Year's Eve, but it's a special day for another reason. I want to take this time to say happy birthday to my oldest son, Deshaun Davis. Man, happy birthday. My son is turning 28 years old today. The boy almost 30 years old. I can't believe I have a son that's almost 30 years old. I don't hardly look 30 myself, but I'm just excited to celebrate him on today. So happy birthday to you, my son. I love you, and I wish you many, many, many more. So look, guys, it is the last day of this year, 2023. And for some of us, it has been a great year. For some of us, it's been an okay year. And for some of us, it's been a challenging year. No matter what kind of year you have had this year, there's a word that I want to share with you in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse number 11. Very simple word there where it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord." I want to stop right there because it's so much there to unpack and to encourage us, where God is speaking through Jeremiah to his people who are struggling in a time of adversity. They haven't had a good year while God speaks this word to them. But while they're in the midst of having a challenging time, a challenging year, God says a word through the prophet of Jeremiah, and he says this. He says, "For I know." And that's what we have to be encouraged about today. For when God says, "I know," the language suggests that he knows something that we don't know. And while we're struggling and having a difficult time, maybe we've had a difficult year on our jobs, maybe it's been a challenging time in your marriage, maybe just been a challenging time with your health, maybe you've had some health issues or some other type of oppositional circumstance that you've had to deal with. And the word of the Lord is, "For I know something that you don't know." God, what is it that you're saying that you know that I don't know? He says, "I know the plans." I love that word plan because it means an intent of doing something. God says that I know the intent. I know that there's something that I plan on doing, that I intend on doing, and you don't know. Why is that important? Because sometimes we want to get frustrated, and sometimes we want to give up because things get so difficult and things get so challenging. We can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes we're bumping around in the darkness of our circumstance and the season that we're in, and we're just frustrated because we don't know when that corner is going to turn from bad to something better. And God is speaking to us while we're in the midst of such a season. And he's saying, "Listen, I know something that you don't know. I know what I intend on doing just for you." God has plans. And I love that fact that he says, "I have not a plan, but I have plans." God says, "I have more than one intent of doing for you." There are a lot of things that I'm intending on doing for you that's going to turn your bad place into a better place. Here's why we can't give up when some of our years haven't been the best years. Here's why we can't throw in the towel. This is why we got to be steadfast, because we don't know what God knows. We don't know the things that God plans on doing for our finances, to turn our finances around. We don't know what God is planning on doing for our health, to completely heal us. I was just sharing with one of my members just yesterday that we're not waiting on doctors, we're waiting on God. And as quickly as things went bad for you, is as quickly as God can restore you and turn around. But we don't know the plans of God. We don't know what God's going to do and when he's going to do it. Here's what we have to do. We just have to trust that God has plans for us. He says, "Listen, I know the plans I have for you." That word "I have" is possession. God says, "These are my plans." And I love that part, because the fact that these plans are God's, they are God's possession, it means that there's nobody, not even the enemy, who can do anything to stop the plans that God has for you. These are his plans. They can't be stopped. They can't be deterred. They can't be destroyed. They're God's plans for you. So as we enter into a new season, going to 2024, I don't care what your 2023 has been like. I want you to stand on this word. I want you to be encouraged that God has an intent on doing some things, many things for you. He may not do them all in 2024, but I want you to be steadfast and to prepare yourself with great anticipation and great expectation of all the things that God is planning to do for you, that nobody can stop. He says, I open doors that no man can close. So God is getting ready to bless many of us in many ways in 2024. You just need to get ready for the plans that God has for you. Let us pray. So God, we thank you for sharing with us this morning that you have many intents of doing some great things for us, plans to prosper us, plans to deliver us, plans to heal our relationships and our families. God, you got so many plans in so many areas of our lives. And we just thank you in advance for all the things that you're about to do in 2024. We're claiming it to turn our lives around. God, we receive it. And we just ask, God, that you would give us the mind to be faithful in all things that you have commanded us to do, that we can be prepared to receive the plans that you have just for us. Brothers and sisters, it is our last Sunday of the year, which means next Sunday is Launch Sunday. I want you to make sure that you are in the place on next Sunday at 9:15 a.m. 4696 Princess Anne Road. I'm so excited. We had a walkthrough on yesterday and the team is ready to go. You're going to be thoroughly blessed by the worship experience at One Accord Church on next Sunday. I can't believe I'm saying that. Next Sunday at 9:15. We got people coming in town this week and we're just excited to be with you. Some of you we haven't seen it in a while and we're excited to hug your neck. So look, I'm bubbling with anticipation. I want you to be prayerful as we enter into this week to launch finally One Accord Church. Listen, I love you. God bless you. We won't have tea time on next Sunday, but we'll let you know exactly when we'll bring it back so you can come back together with us for tea and devotion with Pastor DL. That was something else I needed to announce to you and I can't remember. Oh, for our live audience, we won't be live at 9:15, but we are going to broadcast our service at 1 p.m. On next Sunday. So if you're a part of our live audience, we want you to be prepared to come back on the Facebook page, the YouTube page at 1 p.m. for the broadcast of our worship service. Other than that, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you next time for another edition, whenever we bring it back, of Tea and Devotion with Pastor DL.